Hi, my name's Jamie and I'm going to share with you today a little bit about my son's health journey, who was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy at the age of 3 years old. Jamie is now 6 and we've been navigating our health journey for the last 3 years. Our health journey started when Jamie was diagnosed and we were sent home with a letter explaining the outcome of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. At that time, there was very little options and we were told we had to wait until he was around 5 years old to start steroids. This sent us home with nothing, no hope for our future and, an outcome that was just catastrophic. This then led us to going online and searching anything that we could find and trying to improve our knowledge around the disease and understand it to the best of our abilities. And we didn't have any sort of professional background, we were a couple of parents just trying to do what was best for our son. On this journey, we stumbled across more things maybe happening in different areas of the world. This ended up with us stumbling across a clinical trial that was happening in the US. Now, when we tried to apply for this trial, we were left with a number of sites that we believed that were taking on the trial. Now, I emailed between 5 and 10 of these sites. I had some responses that weren't aware of the trial. I had other responses that said that they would get me right to the right person, and some sites just didn't even respond at all. This led me to following up to then eventually getting to somebody that had an idea around the trial and managed to sort of start the process for me. Now the process was, I had to get all my medical notes for my son from the UK hospitals and get this over to the US. Everything seemed to be going fine and we unfortunately missed out on screening just due to Jamie's steroid not being on it quite long enough. And now this was quite upsetting. As we'd sold our home, we'd spoke to immigration lawyers and we started to make the process. From there, we had to kick on and see what more options were available for us, and we stumbled across a trial a lot closer to home. And this wasn't sort of through the traditional route of applying down a registry or seeing that the trial had became, available anywhere. We had to do a lot of sort of digging on our own, and we stumbled into the trial through luck and a lot of hard work and determination. And I didn't realise that the pathway ahead of us was going to be so difficult, to get into areas that should have really been what I felt brought to our attention. What I really wish was different in our experience is we were given, a lot more clarity around our options. Being forced to our postcode for my health's diagnosis was something that, didn't sit well with us as a family, as we were willing to sort of cross any barriers that were going to come our way. And, it may be different for other families, but to not have that presented to us and have options and clear pathways was really quite upsetting. So I wish that we were presented with what was happening in the world, and that would have gave our family a lot more hope instead of sending us into a chaotic survival mode that we have been in for the last couple of years. One word that comes to mind for this question is hope, and I say it so many times, but without hope you have nothing, and with hope you have everything.